We're at GIO Stadium in Canberra for the Aussie Derby between the Brumbies and the Waratahs. It's been a week of banter, much more than usual in the build-up to this grudge match. And the Waratahs are sticking with the same back line that has done the job for them in the two previous victories in 2014. Number 9, the scrum half, Nick Phipps, is playing his 50th game of Super Rugby. And go to the forward pack. Number 6, Dave Dennis, is back after injuring himself. He missed the last performance, but he has the captaincy again for this big match, and the coach is Michael Checker. Well, the Brumbies, they're also sticking with the same back line. Robbie Coleman is there in jersey 11. He has scored 2 tries this year on the flag. So too Jesse Mogg at 15, 3 tries, the leading try scorer for the Brumbies. Pat McCabe, no sign of any neck injury last week. He was sensational in the away win. And in the forward pack, well, the captain is number 8, Ben Moen, and the coach is Stephen Larkham. We are set. The build-up has been fantastic. Now the two teams say they're going to deliver. It's the Waratahs kicking off. And it falls for Fabian Hooper, the former Brumbie, is in there to make the tackle early on.
It's a good deep kick from Farley.
In typical Brumbies fashion, they try and get out of their territory as soon as possible. And tonight we go sideline to Rod Kafer and also George Gregan.
Thanks, Clarkie. Beautiful conditions down here. Perfect. The Brumbies won't mind kicking into touch, George. The Waratahs had some problems last week at the line-out.
That's for sure, and they'll pride themselves, I think, at set-piece defence. They probably want them to, I guess, not win at the back of the line, which they've done, but it's a good way to start in terms of getting out of your half.
And a chip kick working there. Adam Ashley Cooper running onto it. So the Waratahs, good field position for them early on. It goes to Foley, and he kicks again. And giving some chase is Beale. He makes a tackle at the back, and the Brumbies get back on side. Penalty against the Waratahs.
Never made an attempt to roll away. I can't reward dominance.
Gee, Nick White did extremely well to cover there. It was a good positional play. Bernard Foley saw Jesse Mogg out of position, but he was up in the line. And Bernard Foley put a nice little depth kick in behind, but that man there, Nick White, covered up superbly.
And George, a good opportunity for the Waratahs to chip kick there and find some space. We'll come back to that because that kick was not out, as you can see, and so an early mistake off the boot. Well, gee, Ryan did well to hold on to that pass. Phipps, Beale, Foley, through the hands it goes. Dennis taken by Spate.
Curtly Beale getting into first receiver.
And pressure there on Phipps, but it's a penalty.
Tackler was beaten by the ruck.
And it's a penalty to New South Wales. They'll slow things down.
Tackler was beaten by the ruck. I think it's 14.
What do you make of those early chip kicks, George?
I think they've been very smart. They've obviously looked at the coverage. I think they played the fullback on the end of the line. It left a lot of work for Nick White to do, which he covered up very nicely, but very smart play by the Waratahs early.
79% success rate for Bernard Foley. 10 metres in from touch. At 36, 37 metres back. There's the first strike, and it is a good one. First points in the grudge match to the Waratahs. 3-0.
Interesting, too, that the Waratahs, in those first couple of phase plays, Bernard Foley has been second receiver and allowed Curtly Beale to go into first receiver. Just mixing it up a little bit. Nick White to restart.
They go long with the restart. And that's safely into touch on the far side. Steady as she goes from the restart. The boot from Foley.
Another short line out here by the Waratahs. Michael Hooper backs out. Brumbies ball in.
Stephen Moore with the throw. Head-to-head, these two rivals have played 22 times in the professional era. Waratahs have won 12, the Brumbies 10. But here in Canberra, it's the Brumbies 8 wins, Waratahs 2 in 2005, 2011.
Keep it up.
Advantage. Collapsing the ball. And White tries to chip over the top. Nothing happening there. We'll come back for the penalty on the 10-metre mark.
Paddy Ryan penalised there, bringing the maul down. It was good play.
We've also got number 6 on the other side.
Smart play from the Brumbies, back of the line out, driving it on.
3 and 6
The Waratahs actually drop out Michael Hooper to defend at fly half. He's number 1 in the defensive line. So they use their blind winger to be at the front of the line in the traditional position where the hooker would be. As you can see, Paddy Ryan there, Tatafu Pilota now sinking that maul.
Nick White kicked well against the Hurricanes in the victory in Wellington last week. Looking to level things up. .41 metres back. No problem with the distance or the direction. 3-all.
It's a good reply from the Brumbies. They need to keep the scoreboard ticking over. In the last 2 matches that the Waratahs have played, they've scored a try within the first 3 minutes. We're past that now.
Incredible to think that the Tars have never scored more than 2 tries in their 10 games in Super Rugby in Canberra. And the Brumbies have kept the Waratahs tryless in the last 2 games here.
Good carry, Stephen Moore.
He has been in sensational early form again in 2014. Stephen Moore, there's the clearance. Down to Bernard Foley. Fell out. Looking for a hole, now giving it back on the inside. Hooper. Good run from the loose forward. Phipps and Beale. A lot of now. Over halfway. Just Foley. Cut out. Balau, a loafer. Beale. Getting close to the touchline on the far side.
Well, he's done well to stay in. I was going to say Kurtley Beale was good defence in the end.
But it's a penalty.
Get back. First action to roll away. Step away. Stop it.
Oh, I don't know what happened there, but Kurtley Beale is fired up with Nick White.
The ball didn't emerge because 9 never rolled.
Was really impressive there was, I think, the speed at which New South Wales were getting to the breakdown, created that quick ball, and the numbers and the way they used that space was very, very good. Some nice touches there by Israel Folau, putting the winger down the right-hand side, which is a great opportunity for the Waratahs now in attack off this line-out.
George, it was good play just before Israel Folau got the ball. Bernard Foley, his straight line running, and to the defensive line has been superb.
Pollotta now, almost an overthrow, but it's there for Hooper. Brumbies pile in. Great opportunity here for New South Wales. Harlow goes to ground. Phipps, Foley taking them on. Good defence though. Big tackle coming in from Sio.
Use it.
Phipps, now it's Robinson. Oh, there's great defence by the Brumbies.
6 White on his feet.
6 White was on his feet. Scott Fardy entitled to play at the ball. They didn't release.
Yeah, Benny Robinson just got isolated. Potgieter was going through with him and fell off the back, which allowed Scott Fardy so strong on his feet. Kaif, this line-out's virtually right in front of you on the sideline as we see the big hit from Scotty Sio on Bernard Foley. Is there plenty of talk down there on the sideline between both teams?
Look, there's a little bit of chat. I've certainly seen more over the years, but I think both teams are really concentrating on the job. It's been a high pace so far. Both sides looking to use the ball. The Brumbies pretty effective in the middle to Ben Mowen. Go to the front.
Never lost a line out last week. Oh, is that high?
Harley.
The referee says it's okay. Jesse Mogg down to the 22, and Kurtley Beale is there.
Olia, don't go up. Stop. Now you can.
So it's into touch, about 5 metres inside Brumbies territory.
It's a good kick into the breeze. The Brumbies have got just a little bit of breeze behind them, and Jesse Mogg used that to his advantage. Breeze isn't that strong, George. Just a little bit of a puff, but enough to give it a bit extra length.
Yeah, there is. It's probably just heading to that left corner where Jesse Mogg did kick, but as you said, it was a great return from from Curtly Beale, but it's really good pressure here on both teams in terms of the line-out and what they're doing in defence.
Another good line-out win as McCabe offloads Butler, 10-metre mark. White to Moore, kicking across for Robbie Coleman's wing, and Folau takes it and gets away. He puts it on the toe, Israel Folau. He was interfered with, but it's play on.
Oh, Nick White taken, needed to shift the ball. Trouble for the Brumbies, they get it back.
Desperate attempt to get it back there, and it worked. Coleman gives it back to Mogg, and he puts it onto the left foot and safely into touch.
What about the take from Israel Folau?
Step away, please. Got a flagging, just step away.
3 players around him.
Report from the assistant.
Serious. Kicked past, kick had gone, hit late, obstruction. Blocking, okay. You got a number? Okay, we'll get it now.
This is on Israel Folau. Didn't think there was much in
After
it.
the kick has gone, the players obstructed him, so it's going to be a penalty. Okay, we'll pick up the number now. After the kick, obstruction.
So after Israel Folau
Inside the field of play.
put the grubber kick through,
Penalty, yes. No, it's fine, thanks. It's nothing serious.
Bernard Foley
Foley's going to have a shot.
steps up long range, but didn't look like there was much in it. K from Israel Folau, obviously brilliant in the air.
It's a great take, obviously, against Robbie Coleman. He's about 6 foot taller than Robbie Coleman. I reckon Izzy should win that most of the time. Paddy McCabe, just a slight little body check then. Not much in it.
Bernard Foley, beautiful strike, right over the dot. And it is 6-3. Waratahs fans in the crowd pretty happy with that.
A lot of fans have driven down. I was talking to former Wallaby coach Bob Dwyer before the game. He's driven down from Barrel, where he lives, to watch the Waratahs. Former Waratahs coach as well.
Took him to a final.
Well picked up from Cliffy Parley.
So the Tars inside the 22, and barnstorming run from Jacques Podhika. Got out into the arms of Mogg. He looks up and he's got plenty of space, and that's a great kick, Jesse Mogg.
Really good vision from Jesse Mogg. As he got the ball, the crowd went up as one, wanting him to run the ball 60 metres out. And he thought, no, we need to play a little bit of field position. Israel Folau out of position.
Pressure on Pilota now, throwing into the line-out. His 105th Super Rugby game. And it's against the throw, so advantage is being played. It's a scrum advantage for the Brumbies. Can they capitalise on this? No, not at the moment, but they're going to get the put in.
First one's on the line out.
Oh, big scrum coming up here for both sides. George, you'd think the Brumbies will have a shot at them, trying to push them over here. Was he pocketing together at the line out? Just, it's a little bit of obstruction there from Power. I think they'll have a shot.
I think they will. I think they'll try and keep it at the back and maybe put a bit of pressure, put a little bit of ascendancy, maybe get the referee thinking who's got the dominant scrum, so to speak. But I'm sure they'll have something in play off the back of it. But initially, I think they'll have a bit of a push just to see what they can do up front.
Crouch. Bye. We're already set. We're already set. Yeah, but no.
14 minutes gone.
Mind you, were in. When I said, let's do it again.
See Henry Spate going up to Nick White. He's come from his right wing, standing in behind Matt Tamua.
3 tries in the last 4 games against the Waratahs. Henry Spate.
Crouch.
Looking the leading try scorer for the Brumbies in the last 2 seasons.
They get quick ball, look for Kuandran midfield.
White puts it in.
Stay behind the ball.
Gives it to Tamua. Short ball. Tars were waiting for Kurundani, but they took their eye off the ball on that occasion, and White is there to score the first try. Nick White. Brilliant.
Good set-piece play from the Brumbies. You could see them setting it up with Henry Spate hovering in behind Matt Tamua. It looked like it was going to be a decoy play behind Tavita Kurundrani. And Kurundrani took the short ball and got across the advantage line, went right through, took Kurtley Beale with him, and it's the quick ball. Good vision from Nick White, looks up, straight through.
It's a super clean out there from Henry Spate, Jared Butler. Brumbies will target Kurtley Beale, there's no question. Close to the line, they'll run all their plays at Kurtley Beale. Steve Larkham would have told them that's the man to target. Nick White just using the vision there. Ball going forward. George, you'd love to score a soft try like that early, wouldn't you?
It was a dream, wasn't it? They weren't able to. The speed of the ball wasn't enabling the Waratahs a chance to actually set up their defence on that short side. And it was very good vision by Nick. He's very fast. He's got very good vision. It was great to see him take that opportunity. But you're right. There'll be a lot of traffic probably going Kurtley's way, so he'll have to get some support from the people in and around him.
And White adds the extra 2. He's got all 10 points so far for the Brumbies. It's the home team leading 10 points to 6. And George Gregan, you've had a bit to do with Nick White over recent years as a consultant coach for the halves.
Yeah, I've had a lot to do with Nick and obviously the other halves, and he's a wonderful player. Really competitive, and he really enjoys the contest.
Well, what a contest it's going to be, not only in the halves between Phipps and White. There's great matchups right across the park.
Scott Farley did extremely well off the restart. Good ball.
And they have an overlap here. And Tamua flicks one out the back. Spate picks it up, throws it back in. Might have come off the arms of Adam Ashley Cooper.
Good attacking play. Good options for the Brumbies coming out of their half. Waratahs set expecting the Brumbies to kick, and we thought we might see some changes in tactics from the Brumbies. Very good side at getting out of their defensive end. And we've seen it, both teams have mixed up their tactics tonight. Waratahs a little kicking, Brumbies a little more running.
Pressure on, pressure on.
Stephen Moore goes to the back, finds his man, Power. Vardy handballs it on to Kurundrani. Tamua, they're running it. Mogg chipping off the left foot. The race is on! Jesse Mogg! Did he win the race? He thinks he has.
I think he's got there in front of Israel Folau.
It might be 2 tries to the Brumbies in a matter of minutes.
He's coming upstairs just to make sure.
Didn't he put the accelerator down? Jesse Mogg. Israel Folau, he had to turn.
Now, if both players ground the ball at the same time, it goes to the attacking team.
Offside from number 10 at the line out. You push too quickly.
So here it is, Jesse Mogg. He got in front of Israel Folau, got his hands on the ball. Does he ground it correctly? Jesse Mogg, 2 hands. Oh, was there separation?
And that angle there showed that his right hand wasn't on, but where was the left?
Israel Folau's right hand is just pushing the ball out. Oh, I reckon that's try time. I think that's fine. There was a little bit of separation just before the ball was hitting the ground. Mogg's very confident.
Are those all the angles, Pete?
Yes, you may award the try.
Thanks.
Try time! Jesse Mogg.
Well,
and the locals are on their feet, Rod.
Clarkie, just for the record, I called it no, George called it yes. And he's with Pete Marshall. Yes, it is. Well done, Jesse Mogg. Showed that blistering pace that we know that he's got. Set up the last try with that wonderful left-footed kick into the right corner that got the Brumbies a scrum. And this time it's the chip kick, the turbo charge, and it's try time.
And White looking to keep his perfect record intact. No problems. 17 points to 6. Breathing space for the Brumbies after nearly 19 minutes.
Gee, what a start from the Brumbies. Leading try scorers so far. Jesse Mogg, 4. Israel Folau, 5. Hasn't had his hands on the ball, Folau, so far. Couple little runs.
Plenty for the home team. and their fans to celebrate at the moment. Penalty against the Waratahs.
I'll tell you what I like, Keith, in this game with the Brumbies. They're not kicking too much ball away. When they kick the ball, they're looking to get their hands back on it.
The wrong side of the tackle.
Against the Queensland Reds here a couple of weeks ago, they kicked so much possession away and didn't back themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And they've just got that little momentum. That's a great kick from Nick White. If it gets out, it is out. Yeah, that's a fantastic kick. Izzy Folau not happy.
Frustration.
If the ball crosses the plane of touch, you've got to land inside as well.
So the call from the assistant is that the ball crossed the plane of touch. So it crossed the white line. If you knock it back in, you have to land in. If you didn't quite pick up what the referee had to say. So terrific position for the Brumbies to attack again. Halfway through the first half. And a good take from Leon Power.
Sideways, use it once. It's going sideways.
White to McCabe. Neil throws him into the turf. White running onto it is Coleman.
First man.
White, more. Lost it forward. Hooper cleaned it up.
Kane Douglas. Kane Douglas.
Into the paddock.
Yeah, raced out of the line to Stephen Moore.
Palu from the standing start. Out to Bernard Foley. And that's not out, so Mogg chance to counter. Good defence. Short side.
Hands in.
Hand to the ruck.
Hands in.
Scotty Fardy. He knew the pressure was coming through.
Then played with a hand.
The counter ruck that came through. Half a Pelota now came through, and Scotty Fardy knew he had to pick the ball up and flick it back to Nick White. It's played at a quick pace, isn't it, Clarkie?
Terrific. Both teams talking the talk during the week and walking the walk at the moment.
Good challenge now for the Waratahs to dig their way out. They haven't had a lot of ball in the last 10 minutes. Good counter up there from the Waratahs.
There's a lot of niggle in and around the halfbacks at the moment. Lots of players grabbing them and scragging them, trying to upset the rhythm of the game. Halfbacks dealing with it, but expect to see it get a bit spicy at some point.
It's play on fortuitously for the Waratahs. Almost went horribly wrong. It's Pakita. Inside ball. And Tabora raced up and smashed his opposite.
Well, they nearly had it, the Brumbies.
Palu out the back. Ashley Cooper, a loaf up. No, it's not, it's Beale. Peter again. Sam Carter made a good tackle. And the Brumbies try and turn it over again. More coming through in an offside position.
Offside. Offside.
Stephen Moore came in from the side, which is unfortunate because the Brumbies were putting enormous amount of pressure defensively on the Waratahs.
Hands on is not out anymore. He's got to pick it up.
Those tackle contests are really fiercely fought by both teams, particularly when they get to the extremities. If either team sees there's an opportunity to counter-ruck, they've both done it very well. We saw it early with the Waratahs, and we just saw it then with the Brumbies. They probably just stressed their discipline a little bit too far there and gave the penalty away, but it was a really good example of two teams contesting hard at the breakdown.
24 minutes gone. Bernard Foley, 15 in from touch. Again, it's a good strike. It's off the uprights, and they cough it up. The Brumbies, so a chance here for the Waratahs.
That's all fine. That's all legal. It's lost forward.
Lost forward, so it'll be a scrum. Waratahs put in.
Well, hit it flush too on the upright.
That was all legal. Lost forward here.
Bernard Foley looked like it was drifting right to left.
A lot of now.
Oh, Benny Mowen, you thought he had it. Just let it go forward.
You see Bill there at 12, Adam Ashley Cooper. They're all very tight on this left-hand side.
Nick White has to be the defender, first defender on Bernard Foley.
Set.
Phipps puts it in. Penalty.
Collapsing. Collapsing.
Oh, decision time for Dave Dennis, the captain. 3 points on offer right in front.
On the loose head. Shot.
They'll take the points.
Benny Mowen under a lot of pressure through the week. Responded well so far in this game.
Remember also he was playing with so many of these Waratahs not that long ago. 41 caps for the Waratahs, 3 seasons in Sydney.
It's not good enough. Next one.
Foley from almost in front. Narrows the gap a bit. It's now 17-9. The Brumbies over the Waratahs.
Keep the scoreboard ticking over the Waratahs, which is important. They haven't had much ball, they haven't had much field position, but they're still in touch. Important for them to keep doing that.
Oh yeah, there's a long way to go in this one. White goes long, and to Hooper, the 22.
Release. Lost.
Foley. Not his best kick of the night, into touch.
This will be good time, pressure time now from the Brumbies. 22 metres out, line out. It's a good tackle from Stephen Moore on Michael Hooper. Matty Tamua walking across to Nick White, asking for what play it is off the back of the line out.
One by Mowen down to White. Tabua's going to have a run on the inside of Beale there. They're in the 22. Fardy. Penalty. Oh, against the attacking team.
First arriver's got it.
Michael Hooper. Yep. He was strong over the ball.
Very timely penalty indeed for the Waratahs.
Yeah, great work from Michael Hooper, but it was interesting times there, wasn't it? I think Matt Timur obviously looked to see where Kurtley Beale was in the defensive line and asked for that and just went one-on-one and took it straight over the advantage line. So some good opportunities there first phase for the Brumbies against the Waratahs, but great work from Michael Hooper.
Water down. Throws to the back to Pampita. And he pops it down. Eventually it goes to Phipps. Here he is again. 3 tests for the Springboks and he offloads. Good work. Tony Ryan to Foley. Over halfway. Dennis, head down, charges into them. Robinson. His opposite makes the tackle. CO. Phipps to the right. Showing it on the inside and then giving it to Beetham on the outside. Well, it came out of there pretty quickly and a loafer did well to clean it up.
They just need a little bit quicker ball, the Waratahs. Ball's out.
And they knocked it on, the Brumbies. It was there for the taking. They just couldn't control it. Sam Carter.
Ball was out.
They're just not getting into their patterns of play, the Waratahs, at the moment, because they're not getting that quick ball. I haven't faced a forward pack like the Brumbies who put pressure on at the breakdown, and the quick ball's just not coming the way that Nick Phipps would like it.
Yeah, Cliffy Palu there, you'd make an argument playing the ball on the ground.
Bring it.
Unfortunately led to a knock-on against the for the Brumbies, against the Brumbies. So the Waratahs again, no momentum, no rhythm in their play yet, have been stopped. Israel Folau virtually unseen yet. Brumbies have done a good job so far in terms of enforcing their plan on the game.
Phipps with the put in. And he'll take it out. Foley, Beale, quick hands. Oh, was that forward?
Matty Tamua.
A lot of now. Phipps. And there's real pressure from the Brumbies. And it's been tied so it's play on. Alofa will get back there first of all. And grounded in goal, will come back to the 22. Terrific pressure coming from the Brumbies around the ruck.
Well, especially at scrum time, how quickly they got off their defensive line. Matt Tamua raced up out of the line, and they virtually played man on and smashed Kurtley Beale. Matty Tamua.
Fully committed to that tackle, wasn't he? He spotted his man and he was going to accelerate into that tackle. He really uses his shoulders well and he finishes him off very, very well. So yeah, that's good defence, good pressure.
Tamua will kick and allow Spate to chase. Good take. And then Beale was thrown into the turf there. Phipps out to Foley. Inside ball, Beetham. Beat one or two. Folau. He tries the chip, but came off one of the Brumbies, and it's gone backwards off the Brumbies. So now it spins out for the Waratahs. Lost forward by the Brumbies, and Beale putting on some footwork. Gets the pass to Dennis, and over the top it goes from Douglas. Advantage is over. Foley, Ashley Cooper. Beetham on the inside, and they leave it behind, and Mogg is going to counter. Oh, but he loses it. Oh, it was a try that was looking likely by the Waratahs. Somehow they butchered it.
Oh, Adam Ashley Cooper down in back play two. He went across field. Foley went back inside. Kurtley Beale started it. Some good hands from the forwards.
Kane Douglas, brilliant.
Yeah. Bernard Foley went across the field. Adam Ashley Cooper there just got taken off the ball. Bernard Foley, you think, would have been under the post.
And then Mogg just couldn't control it.
Great tackle from Paddy Ryan.
Yeah.
Tight end prop getting across. You sort of thought this could go all the way to the other end. But
well, I think Jesse Mogg looked up and saw Paddy Ryan. That's why he took off.
Yeah. Here's Adam Ashley Cooper. He's trying to just suck out a penalty here. It is a late hit, no question about that. I think he does get winded there a little bit. I think he's fine. He's an Iron Man, Adam Ashley Cooper. Might be a problem for him.
He wasn't happy with the assistant.
No.
Adam Ashley Cooper, 78 games for the Brumbies before moving to New South Wales. He hasn't scored a try at the stadium for either New South Wales or the Brumbies since 2010. 17-9 Brumbies over the Waratahs. 2 tries to none. 1 to White, 1 to Mogg.
Crouch.
Good back line up for the Waratahs.
Fine. Set.
Beetham there as well.
Phipps puts it in. Good scrum. They wheeled it. The Brumbies, terrific work. Quick hands, McCabe. Over it goes from Tamua to Mogg, and Coleman. Robbie Coleman shaped the kick. Good tackle for Lau, but the offload was good. And the Brumbies all of a sudden with the momentum. Alexander, taken by Pelota now. McCabe can't find a way through. Good defence, Palu. White inside ball, comes loose. Back it goes now to Folau. And Folau throws it on the inside to Beale. He'll take the tackle on the 22. Advantage being played for the Waratahs. Alofa.
under pressure all the time. We're going back. We lost forward.
Gee, good defence in the end from the Waratahs. They had to scramble. What about the space and the pace from Robbie Coleman? But
still under pressure.
it all came back from the tight head. Scotty Seo, Stephen Moore, Ben Alexander. You don't see this too often against the Waratah pack. See Paddy Ryan lifted there.
What was it really, I thought was fantastic. There was Scott Fardy's just reaction, played the whistle, and this created this opportunity for Robbie Coleman on the end. Stayed in the field to play offloaded. Some really good quality rugby being played by both sides tonight. And the fact that they wanted to use the ball and impose some pressures been a delight to watch so far.
Set.
Smith on for Spate. Blood bin for Henry Spate.
It's not just one side. I can't apportion blame to any one player. I'm going to bring you closer.
So we're engaged.
Yeah.
Can't be any closer.
But your feet are back.
Okay.
So either bring your feet up, both sides, come in. It's not just about the shoulders, it's about the feet.
We don't want to start engaged. It's not.
Yeah.
That's why there's a ball.
Ready, let's go. We're set. Come on, boys. Down here now. Here we go, Scotty.
Crouch higher. Crouch. Bind. Stand up. It's already engaged. So, 2 hookers, please. Time out.
Bit of a chat here.
Okay, it's pretty clear. When I go to bind, you're already engaged. That's not correct. I want the feet up when I say we want you closer. We don't want the shoulders touching. Is that clear? Yeah. Okay.
They always say, yeah, that's clear, ref. There's Crystal. They'll do the same thing again here, George, I bet you.
Yeah, we'll just do what we're doing. Thanks. There's a little time out. Got our breather. We'll just continue doing what we're going to do, and you can guess who's the infringer. No, it'll be an interesting. You can be sure that there'll be a lot of pressure coming through from the Brumbies at this point of the field, and it's a big moment in terms of just before half-time, clearing your hay for the Waratahs.
Yes.
Phipps puts it in. Another big shove coming from the Brumbies and the free kick.
I've warned you twice.
Nick Phipps from putting the ball in behind the hooker's feet, but he had to because the Waratahs were under pressure.
Scrum. Okay, they're choosing a scrum.
You can see Nick Phipps saying, I had to put it in. I had to Dave Dennis.
Dave Dennis will be saying, don't you put that ball in if we're moving.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he, Griggs? That's what the back row
Oh, they'd be
says.
filthy with you, that's for sure. Like, if you look at that on Monday on the field, you can just tell this poor old Nick Phipps, he's just saying, I was under pressure for the referees, telling me when to put it in. Oh, it's tough. It's a tough life being a halfback.
Oh, turn it up.
Coming from someone who played 139 test matches and made about 5 tackles in his career.
That's 4 more than most people give me, mate.
Bind.
Good attacking opportunity now for the Brumbies midfield.
There's the shove and they get the penalty. The Brumbies scrum is working a treat at the moment.
Gee, Tatapa Potter now, Paddy Ryan and Ben Robertson are under enormous amount of pressure.
It's been a real improvement from Scott Seo as a young prop. He's been getting better and better and better week in, week out. We know they're well drilled by Laurie Fisher. Ben Alexander does a great job on this tight head side as well, and it has had problems against Ben Robinson in the past, but it's Scott Seo. Look at him on the far side there. He keeps, you can see Pat Ryan, look at Scotty Seo, drives him right out the back of the scrum. A real powerful guy, Scotty Seo, George. You know a lot of him.
Yeah, he has, and a real big improver in that set piece. A wonderful play around the field. We saw that great tackle he made earlier on Bernard Foley close to the line, but he's really improved in his set piece work under the tutelage of, obviously, Laurie Fisher, and those moments are critical in these types of matches.
Good pedigree, Scott Seo as well. His dad played for Manu Samoa. So a minute before half-time, timely points for the Brumbies. Taking plenty of time right in front. No problems, and it's 20 points to 9. Brumbies over the Waratahs.
It's 2 scrums in a row. The Brumbies have put enormous amount of pressure on the Waratahs. Michael Checker, is he making any replacements in the Waratah front row at half-time?
One is blue.
So chance for the Waratahs to work themselves into good field position just before the break.
Potgieter, good run.
Field at first receiver, Robinson. Brumbies just have to be careful here not to give away a penalty as the halftime siren sounds, but no, it was the Waratahs that give away the penalty, obstruction.
Gee, that's a tough call from Jaco Piper. I didn't think there was much in that at all. Attacking team penalised.
And the 9 Blues in front of the ball and beating with the defender.
So number 9 for the Brumbies, Nick White, will kick it into touch, and that ends the first half at GIO Stadium in Canberra. And it's been a good half for the locals. The Brumbies trying to burst the Waratahs bubble yet again, and so far so good. Brumbies needing 20 points to 9 at the break. They need to go the 80, the Brumbies, and the Waratahs. You can see a change there. Sikopi Kepu is on there. The scrum hasn't been going well for the Waratahs. So a bit of experience there from Sikopi Kepu. 38 tests for the Wallabies. Second half underway, and White kicks off. Alofa takes it inside the 22, and he's claimed immediately. That was a good chase.
Kurandrani.
Robinson taken by Stephen Moore, fellow Wallaby front rower.
Well, it's a couple of times that's happened now from Bernard Foley. Not striking them that well. George, on the sideline, what's the mood like for the Waratahs when they came back out after half-time?
Look positive. I believe there's a little bit of a conversation going on between Kirtley and obviously Israel about how they want to kickstart this first half. Obviously, a lot of pressure coming through on Bernard Foley when he's clearing his half, and gives the Brumbies a great opportunity to start the half in a really positive fashion, 22 metres out from the Waratahs line.
And a good win at the back. CO and Coleman to McCabe charging into the traffic. Tamua, Kurandrani got away from the tackle of Foley into the 22, the Brumbies.
Feels hurt in the background. Looks like he's hurt his sternum.
Yeah.
Stay there, stay there.
Paddy McCabe was straight at his channel.
Tamua running to the line, giving it to Fardy. White, Tamua, and now Mogg. Got away from Alofa. Good defence, Phipps on the inside. Fardy.
Release, away.
White, Alexander hits it off to the support. And
Good
quick ball. Alexander, and now Smith running onto it.
He's on his feet.
And a turnover, Hooper. Penalty goes against the Brumbies.
Gee, he was quick to get there, Michael Hooper.
7 Blue first player made the turnover.
They're under an enormous amount of pressure, the Waratahs. Kirtley Beale was struggling to get back in defence after trying to tackle Paddy McCabe. Michael Hooper, superb timing. They're under the pump, the Waratahs.
He's one of the best, isn't he, in that department? You think of Michael Hooper, you think of people like Richie McCaw. Those people, when they see a little bit of daylight, if there's a little bit of isolation there, they are in there quickly, and they're really productive. They're getting their hands on the ball and doing something really positive to try and get it back for their team. So well done to Michael Hooper.
Henry Spate, unlikely to come back on the field. Talk is he might have a broken jaw.
Well, that's not the way he wanted to celebrate his 50th game of Super Rugby. Dennis goes high and out to Phipps. Beale inside.
That's better play from Kirtley Beale and the Waratahs across the advantage line early.
Yeah, and now it's Kopita. Foley dummying, they don't fall for it. Phipps looking for a runner. It finds Beale, puts on some footwork, gives it to Alofa, cuts back infield, away from one. Now to Pallotta now. Good footwork from the hooker, and then he pops it back out to Robinson. Good hands, and starting again is Beetham. Lays it back, quick ball. Foley charging onto it was Douglas, and a good tackle, ball and all from Paddy McCabe. Foley, here's Hooper. Ooh, ran into a brick wall though. Bit of continuity for the Waratahs, but it just can't find a hole.
Picked up the ball and ran with it.
Beale Now Folau out the back, and it's towed through, giving chases Coleman, who's an absolute flyer, and it's still on the ground. Therefore, Ashley Cooper inside the 22, so he kicks long, and it's down to Mogg. Chance here for a counter. He looks up and finds plenty of space, and that's out on the full, just overcooked it.
Oh, right idea from Jesse Mogg because he saw the space. But once again, it's the pressure defensively from the Brumbies. Their defensive coach, Dan McKellar, has got them rushing up in defence and putting an enormous amount of pressure. Paddy McCabe's hit on Israel Folau forced the ball out. And Robbie Coleman, another 5 metres, he was there.
Well, the pleasing thing about that in terms of when they do rush, they rush together, so they're really well drilled and they're picking their moments. They're picking their moments in terms of the breakdown and contest as well.
A lot of now. Up here, down to Robinson. Not a good pass, but the bounce is okay for Foley, taken on halfway. A lot of now over the advantage line again. And it's the new man, Kepu. Gives it to Palu, and now Douglas. Good work by the forwards, good interchange. Phipps running onto it, it's Beale. Had the hands free, just couldn't offload though.
He was looking for Israel Folau short on his right-hand shoulder, Curtly Beale.
Went backwards that one from Alofa, and now it's Hooper. And he's not panicking on defence though, and here's Pilotta now again. Struggling over the advantage line. Foley, oh, the inside ball is okay. Play on.
Cliffy Palu did well to take it.
Brown thought it was forward. And turnover. Fardy. Moore. Stephen Moore having a run. Coleman onto the left foot. And it will go back into the 22. So Beetham is able to kick it, and the kickers are not having a good night off the side of the boot.
He only had one player chasing through, which is Tavita Kurandrani, and he had Israel Folau, Adam Ashley Cooper outside of him.
Well, you take away that turnover there from Scott Fardy. That was some really good attack by the Waratahs. There's some lovely running there from Pilotta now. We also had a really good run there from Potgieter as well, where they were working just off the halfback with turning up in 2s and 3s and making it very, very difficult. They created some really good space there with their attack.
Sloppy old line-up, but it falls for White. And now McCabe wide to Mogg. Mogg straightens. See, Cooper had to make the tackle. It was a good one. Kurandrani. Fardy. White, CO. White looking for a runner and finding power. Pops out the side. It's there for White. Pick and go, Alexander. Robinson holds on. Moore.
Good carry, Stephen Moore.
Handball over to Moore, and it was Hooper right on top of him, but that time, drop goal attempt. No, out to the left.
Nick White, right foot. Saw a bit of space on the edge.
George, we're seeing some little holes in and around the rucks, maybe for Nick White to start picking up. Nick Phipps has done it really well, finding a little bit of space. There's big holes in the defensive line. You can see there the space between players. Some real opportunity going back against the grain.
Yeah, particularly against the grain, particularly when they're going on that same way. If they're getting quick ball, I think the reverse side or the blind side of the defensive line's struggling to get in their defensive shape, which is creating good opportunities for both the halves if they use their vision and they look for those opportunities, particularly in the next probably 15-20 minutes as fatigue comes in.
There's the high ball from Mogg. Coleman and Mogg chasing. Folau left it behind. And the Brumbies doing a good job keeping Folau contained. They'll get the put into the scrum here as well. So it's falling the way of the Brumbies at the moment. 20 points to 9, which was the half-time score.
Yeah, I think Israel Folau needs to start looking at inside balls from Bernard Foley or just coming off Curtly Beale. He's just not getting himself into the game. He's sort of waiting for the ball and it's not coming his way. He's got to start to go and look for the ball.
Maybe that side.
getting into the game at times, but just not finding the space that he's had in 2 previous encounters or 2 previous matches this year.
Yeah, been a little bit flat-footed. He's just running across for a little bit there in that play, but when he took the high ball on the right-hand side early in that first half, he showed the only bit of space. This one here that he had no one with him, so had to put the ball ahead, and the Waratahs got a penalty out of that. Sometimes the ball doesn't follow you. You've got to go and look for it. It'll happen. There's plenty of time left in this game.
Yeah, well, he's scored 5 tries in 2 games so far. The Waratahs record for a season is 10 tries by Peter Hewitt. And Tamura finding some space. Taken by Hooper. With good vision there from Tamura. Now McCabe! Damien McCabe sliding close.
Advantage offside.
Offside is the call. The Brumbies looking to go in for the kill.
Stephen Moore from the back. They've got to be patient here now, the Brumbies.
Yes.
Waratahs desperate in defence.
But it's still there for the Brumbies. And now it's Tamura kicking across for an unmarked Coleman. Oh, and he's the smallest man on the field along with Nick White. He just didn't have enough height to drag that one down.
Oh, right idea, though. There was no one there covering for the Waratahs.
Number 15 blue on the edge. Offside.
Cave, did he overclub that?
He got a little bit too much on it, Matty Tamura. Great idea, tactically, brilliant.
Very rude man.
A couple of nice touches from Tamura in the lead-up.
Yes, and that was a great run by Scotty Fardy, almost got there.
Oh, it was Fardy. My apologies in the headgear.
Can't go to play referral. None of the officials picked it up.
Here we go, the Brumbies are going to go. Yeah, love it. Into the corner. George, what's the play here? Throw to the middle, big drive, throw to the back. Where would you go?
I think they'll probably try and throw it at the back ideally, but they'll just try and throw it where they can win it and mount some more pressure and back their drive probably and place them off the back of this.
Watch for Stephen Moore.
Good take by Power. Here's the rumble from the Brumbies.
And the backs move in as well. Matty Tamura. Pat McCabe as well. Ben Mohan with the ball at the back.
They continue to edge forward, the Brumbies, looking for the killer punch. Advantage side entry. He might have pinged Bernard Foley there.
Just the entry.
They might do it again. Benny Mohan was so close. The Brumbies sent three backline players in.
Just be very careful. Repetitive infringements.
Decision time here.
The one on the outside.
So Dave Dennis has been warned about repeated infringements at the breakdown.
Let's be very clear, if there's an infringement now, that is very obvious.
Final warning for the Waratahs. They can ill afford to be down a man with the Brumbies in this sort of form. Moore, won by Power.
Use it once! Through the middle.
Waratahs coming through the middle, so it's okay, and driving over the ball.
Yeah, good counter rucking by the Waratahs.
And Beale gets plenty of boot onto that one. Doesn't pick up a lot of metres, though.
Oh, they did really well, the Waratahs forward pack. Brumbies went the same place, through to the front again. Waratahs were ready. They sacked at the back and then got through. Matty Tamura here made this great break. Michael Hooper did a great job to get across there and cover. And then it's Scott Fardy who makes the big run here. Throws the dummy, just not quite enough pace to get to the try line.
He was there, had to reach out.
20 points tonight. Still the Brumbies over the Waratahs. That was the half-time scoreline as Butler goes to ground. Tamura, here's McCabe, taken by Foley.
All good. Nice.
Moore. That's the 22. Lotta now goes low. Tamura having a blinder. Oh, big tackle there on the inside.
Michael Hooper again.
It's gone backwards, so it's play on. Now Alexander. Ben Alexander! Alexander sliding. Can't quite get there. White. Wide they go. Tamura must score. And it's a try, and it is to Vita Kurandrani. Brilliant work by the Brumbies.
What a team try from the Brumbies. It had it all. The Waratahs just struggling defensively with their lineup. And the Brumbies are bending that defensive line, getting in behind and then getting quick ball to Vita Kurandrani. Celebrates.
What about the pace from Benny Alexander? Quickest bloke over 10 metres.
Right foot step straight through. You thought he was there. Israel Folau just got him a hat to go right-hand side. Matt Tamua finds Tavita Kurandrani.
Great patience there too. Just see where the space was. There's a tendency to sometimes overcook and overplay that going for the one out. Saw the space, moved it to 2 passes, and that was, it looks a very simple try in the end, but it took some good patience and vision there. But yeah, Ben Alexander reminded me of a young Rodney Cafe in terms of those 0 to 10 metres. Very quick indeed.
I probably had him for weight, though, I reckon. He looks a bit light to me these days. Very fit, tight head prop, Benny Alexander.
White, 4 from 4 in the first half. And this one is out to the right. He can't add the extra 2. So 25 to 9.
Pretty good matchup. Tavita Kurandrani up against Adam Ashley Cooper.
Young bull, old bull.
Tavita Kurandrani, well, he holds the number 13 Wallaby jersey. Adam Ashley Cooper has worn it on many occasions.
They've restricted the Waratahs to 16 points or less in 8 of the 10 games in Canberra. So it's another night that the Waratahs are struggling to score points in Canberra.
Could be a costly drop there from Scotty Fardy. Uncharacteristic.
The Waratahs.
Advantage, not releasing.
Advantage, not releasing, right in front.
Not releasing. Is that number 7? Number 7 kept his hand on, never released.
Well, they take the 3.
Right, thanks.
There's still plenty of time left in this game. It'll take you to 25-12.
No, he's called for a scrum. Butler wearing the 7 on his back. No David Pocock for the rest of the season for the 2nd year in a row. Cut down by injury, and young Jared Butler left the Reds looking for an opportunity, and he's finding it with the Brumbies.
Look at the space here on the right-hand side for Israel Folau.
I just want to...
George, you've captained many
You have to
sides.
look at me.
I've never seen a scrum called like that.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think purely it's got to be based upon the centre field attack, and obviously laying a strong foundation to actually launch that. And so far they've been under a bit of pressure when it comes to scrum time, but Sakopi Kepu's on the tight head side, so hopefully they'll hope he can lock it down and they can run this centre field play, which creates a lot of options both left and right.
Set. It's good on my side. I'm coming over to that side. Okay. Boss, just come to the middle. Here we go. Okay. Show me your shoulders on, or concentrate on that. Yeah.
Come on, discipline here, lads. Discipline.
Height. Instant stability, White.
Yeah.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Phipps with the put in.
Not square and
kick.
stable.
So they take it quickly. And Palu into the 22. Robinson. Phipps. Short ball. Phipps across now to Foley. And there's the ball. It looked like the gap opened up for Beale, but he couldn't control it. Couldn't find the man, and so penalty.
Curly Beale wants to play on quickly.
Just not 10 at the quick tap.
Let's go.
He wants to go. Off he goes.
Hahika. Short ball intercepted. Play on. Brilliant work again by the Brumbies. And Fardy with the kick into touch.
Well read, Matty Tamua. He got himself in between the players. Knew how important that was. Waratahs Just can't string their phases together. They've only got
No two each, play.
7+ phases once in this game. They play on quickly now, Bernard Foley.
Well, they know they need to be the next team to score, the Waratahs. Here's Beale, giving it down to Beetham. Penalty.
Back there.
He was playing advantage.
It's about, yeah. It's not over there. It's not over there. It's at the previous ruck. 13 whites offside. It's a couple now in this area of the field, so you've got to be careful now too. Am I at the right place?
Good captaincy there from Ben Mullen, just asking Yucko Piper where the penalty was to try and slow the game down a little bit. 21 minutes left in the match. A lot of time left for the Waratahs to hit back.
You've got to keep it balanced.
Tafu Pelota now down in back play.
They're at the same stage as you now.
And the line out, 10 metres out.
So you guys are moving sideways. Yeah, that's what I got picked up.
Tap down into the arms of Phipps and Beale. Foley stepping as out of Ashley Cooper.
No hands.
Phipps, inside ball, Dennis. Penalty. Waratahs, and he might lose his patience here.
Oh, Matsamua.
No. Come with me. We've just spoken about discipline. This play made no attempt to roll away. Instantly now it's unsuccessful.
Oh, how costly is that going to be for the Brumbies now?
Their main playmaker.
Matsamua won't be back till the 70th minute. Didn't make an effort to roll away after making the tackle.
Strong.
Had plenty of time as well. He was not really... Sometimes you see players who get stuck there with bodies lying on them and it's difficult. Matsamua was clear and free. Makes a really good low tackle. Obviously gets hit a bit in the head there. He's just lying there, hands up. You've got to do more than that. You can't just put the hands up. You've actually got to be rolling. This whole sequence of play came off the Scott Fardy drop kickoff. We often sit here and George and I saying on the sideline how important the kickoffs.
Yeah, it's amazing. Probably the last 5 to 10 minutes of pressure that they've had to absorb, the Brumbies, comes off that simple drop ball from the kickoff. Scott Fardy, you never question how hard he works, but that mistake's really put the team under a lot of pressure for this next period of time. And it's not going to stop because there's another 10 minutes in the bin.
Foley. Oh, and he gave it to Beale, who was under all sorts of pressure from the Brumbies, and the kick round town.
He's down in back play, Beale as well.
And a loafer. Foot on the line. Foot on the line.
What about the tackle from Pat McCabe? Curtly Beale down in back play. I'd say he's winded because Pat McCabe put a really good shot on. It looked like it was going to be the decoy play.
Beat. Early tackle back there.
Was it an early tackle is the call?
Yep. Yes, that's what I want to see. Just hold. I'm checking.
Well, he was committed to the tackle, McCabe, no doubt about that.
Maybe just, but you can see the double pump coming from Bernard Foley, looking to go behind Beale and then offloading it to Beale.
Yeah, taken early.
Yeah, it is just a fraction early. You see there's hit him. There's only microsecond in it.
Difficult to pull out of it, isn't it?
And if it doesn't improve, the next one will be bin again. You happy with that?
Well, that's the tactic by the Brumbies. They're just rushing up. And Beale, gee, doesn't look in great shape at the moment.
He's been knocked around in this game, but a fair call from Yucko Piper, the referee. As he just said to Pat McCabe, just a timing issue, especially when you're rushing up that quick.
Just hold. I need to blow my whistle.
Take the tap. They are desperate for points, the Waratahs. And Papita charging onto it. Phipps, Dennis, 6 or 7 metres out. Remember, the Brumbies are down a man. Foley, Pelota now straightens. Can't find a way through. Takes plenty of stopping. They need quick ball. And Phipps gives it out to Ben Robinson. It comes out, and it's still there for the Waratahs. Dennis thought he spotted a gap. Phipps gives it to Hooper. He reaches out and he scores at long last for the Waratahs. Michael Hooper. First 5-pointer for the Tars. They're back in it.
And the line is not growing. I could easily have been them.
Much better patience from the Waratahs. Michael Hooper, his 9th Super Rugby try. And the Brumbies, that one man in the bin makes an enormous amount of difference to your defensive pattern. Dave Dennis, he had about 4 carries in that passage of play. Nice ball from Nick Phipps. And Michael Hooper, he had to score because he had about 4 Waratahs players out to his left and only Jesse Mogg was there defensively.
Well, he scored a try last year against his old team, the Brumbies, for the Waratahs on the score sheet this year as well. And an interesting couple of changes. Dave Dennis, remember he missed the last performance with a knee injury. He's been replaced, and Jacques Pothika is off as well. So Will Skelton is on, so too Stephen Hoyles, former Brumbie. Foley, there's the extra 2. 25-16, Brumbies.
Waratahs really needed that, whilst that man, Matt Tamua, sits in the bin, still got 6 minutes left. Plenty of Waratahs players, Clarkie, who played for the Brumbies. Michael Hooper played about 30 matches. Stephen Halls, who just came on, has played over 40 matches for the Brumbies, and obviously Adam Ashley Cooper about 70-odd.
Matt Carraro on the bench for the Waratahs. He's a former Brumbie as well.
Most of the good players come out of the Brumbies, Timmy, you know that.
And Carraro is on there now in jersey 23. Here's Skelton. Back it goes to Foley. That's a better touch finder.
Yep.
It's a better structure from the Waratahs. Their exit plays getting out of their 22. With some tired players out on the field now, it'll open up for guys like Bernard Foley, Israel Folau.
On there for the Brumbies, that's Jean-Pierre Smith, one of the Smith brothers on the bench for the Brumbies.
Another line out take, Sam Carter.
It's all good. He's through the middle.
Kane Douglas did well coming through the centre.
He's right through the middle.
And the Waratahs earned the put in.
Stop it. Take them away. Just leave it. Just leave it. Yeah.
Kane Douglas came straight through the middle. He stands up there. Those little plays can be turning points in a match.
Turnover ball.
Yeah, there's been a real change in pressure, hasn't there, for both teams. I think the Brumbies have had to absorb some, and the Waratahs have had a lot of possession, and now they're creating some momentum through that pressure, having the ball for extended periods of time, and it continues here with them winning the scrum feed. So let's see what they can use in terms of launching some more pressure. McGivern's on as half, so there should be some real interest around the edge of the ruck for the Brumbies as well. He's very dangerous in that area.
Crouch. Fine. Sit.
McKibben changes scrum half for the Waratahs. Power is off for the Brumbies. McCaffrey is on. Out the back it goes, and Beale fires one over the top to beat them, running over brilliantly. Beats one. Beat them. McKibben to Foley, and now Palu. Foley, Skelton.
Advantage is over.
Advantage is over, and over the advantage line goes Skelton. Foley kicks ahead. Beale couldn't quite get the run, and was that taken back?
Yeah, it is. Be a 5-metre scrum, Waratahs.
Oh, is that a turning point?
Kurtley Beale was just checked when he was trying to chase the ball through. Otherwise, I reckon he would have got there.
It's the big runners now for the Waratahs who are starting to dent the Brumbies. It's a lovely weighted kick, good chase. But it's the big runners, the big midfield runners. Skelton has now started to make some damage. Palu's had a couple of runs and generated quick ball. They've got players now who can dent the Brumbies. The Brumbies down a man obviously impacts their ability to get off the line quickly in defence, because they find themselves just having to check and drift a little bit more and Curtly Bill through the big ball over the top. That's going to be on every time. Brumbies now need to work really hard. It's a great position for the Waratahs.
And Bernard Foley's getting a lot of players in motion outside of him. He's getting a lot more options inside and outside.
I just want that shoulder square. That's
when you're playing on the front foot, you give that man some options and he'll put players through some holes.
He's a very good player, Tim. He can play right on top of the line. He brings his short passing game. He throws a beautiful long pass. And he's got very, very good footwork. A very, very dangerous player. And he's orchestrating things very nicely for the Waratahs at the moment.
Huge scrum here.
That's it.
McKibben puts it in.
Keep going.
And he's telling his number 8 to keep going. Picked up by Palu at the back. And Palu is over the line.
Geez, a strong runner, Wycliffe Palu.
Yeah, let's go upstairs.
Much better scrum from the Waratahs.
They'll check it with the television match official, Pete Marshall.
I'm going up, no. I haven't got a clear replay. Pete, just check the replay if we can find a grounding. I couldn't find any grounding.
Robbie Coleman was there. Also Gerard Butler. Do they hold Wycliffe Palu up?
I'm an advantage for Strum.
Gee, Gerard Butler did well there. Robbie Coleman as well, getting his legs underneath the ball.
Yes.
It's held up.
Held up.
5 metre scrum. Held up.
Thank you. It's held up here. I'm going back for a penalty. Strum. Just settle up. I just need everyone to get it. Yeah.
Wycliffe Palu, what the Waratahs need
3 wide standing up under pressure
this season from Wycliffe Palu is 5 or 6 80-minute performances.
Tim, he's one of the best in terms of being able to carry the ball through traffic and through defenders. He just stays at that really low body height, keeps his legs going underneath him, and he just has a way of finding meters going forward. Very dangerous, close to the line, very hard to stop Wycliffe.
Tapu Pelotted out, replaces a new hooker for the Waratahs, Tolu Latu, the 20-year-old.
Oh, another tight head from the Brumbies.
Oh, brilliant stuff. McCabe.
No man, 7. Last.
Now they'll look to clear and get out of there. Not a great kick from Mogg, safely into touch, so relieving a bit of pressure.
Gee, how did that happen? The ball seemed to go in and go straight to the Brumbies side.
Genoa coming on.
Oh, gee, it's just come off the front row of the Waratahs.
7.
And Brendan McKibben put the ball in. It came off one of the Waratahs front rowers off their foot.
So Jared Butler has been replaced by Jordan Smiler. Penalty, interference
in there. Don't.
In the air.
On his arm.
George Gregan, what do you do here? 9 points behind.
Well, they've got so much pressure down here, aren't they? Now, I think they feel comfortable using the ball. And I think that's obviously, I think that's Michael Checker's influence coming through. Yep. And I think they're going to back themselves. That's that mental toughness he's talking about. They're going to back themselves to get the ball over the paint.
McKibben. And Beale gave it to Beetham, and Tamua's tackling big again. Ball pass, cleaned up, just.
Missed it. He's missed it.
Still there for the Waratahs. They regroup. Now it's Kane Douglas. And he loses it.
Advantage lost for it.
Well, this is a gutsy performance by the Brumbies.
Advantage over.
Advantage is over, and it's into touch.
Oh, Kane Douglas has been so good tonight, though, with just a loose carry. And the pressure defensively, Michael Checker looks on, a frustrated Waratahs coach.
Well, they've turned down an opportunity to pick up 3 points time and time again, which would have taken them within these 7 points.
Yeah, I can't agree with the captaincy. The poor decisions there. Plenty of time on the clock for the Waratahs to keep ticking that scoreboard over. They haven't been able to break the Brumbies down really all afternoon, all evening. They did it in the first half and they've stayed in touch. They should have taken the points, and then they're a try away, and anything can happen with the firepower they've got. Falau, Beale, Adam Ashley Cooper, guys who can score tries from nothing.
It's one thing having momentum, isn't it, Keith? But it's the other thing getting some points for that. You need some pressure, and you need to turn that into points. And when they're on offer, particularly in these types of games, you've got to take them.
And the ball goes to Israel Folau, and again they are able to control him. Beale, nowhere for him to go. Ashley Cooper dummying up to the 10-metre mark. McKibben. Now Latu driven back in the tackle. Young hooker.
Last feed.
Advantage. Smith was lying around the ruck there.
Good ball back inside from Beale to Foley.
Charging onto it now is Palu. Penalty.
Oh, be in trouble
17.
here.
17.
He hasn't been on there long, young Ruan Smith.
Yeah, 2. Ben. It's not improving. I've tried my best to manage it. He's in the side there again, over the ball.
They're down another man. This time it's a prop.
So Ruan Smith only just came on. And he's going to sit the rest of the game on the sideline.
Oh, what a finish this is going to be. 25-16. Brumbies over the Waratahs. The Brumbies leading by 20-9 at half-time. Foley. See him there in... That time it was a 20 lying around. And that was the ruck after the infringement. And he's not happy with himself, Ruan Smith. Latu. Oh, Foley.
In competition for the ball.
Now Skelton. Kepu. Foley. Beale. Shut down. It pops out the back. Scooped up by Latu. Up to the 22. Foley. Now Folau. 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 Israel Folau. Wonder big. Folau is in the corner. 6th try for the season.
Well, when you give him space, Israel Folau, he is so dangerous. He just hasn't had any chance tonight. He's been well contained by the Brumbies. That's just brilliant. Beat 2 or 3 players. He looked up. Bernard Foley knew you could see him screaming for the ball. Beats Tamua. Beats another defender. And then poor old Nick White. How do you get him down?
Well, there was nothing on there. You could have thrown a blanket over the top of the Waratahs. They were all milling around the middle of the field. And Bernard Foley said, I'll just chuck it to Izzy and see what he can do. And he comes up with the goods.
We've been talking about how quiet and how well contained. You can't keep a good man down, can you? That was just fantastic bit of footwork and skill to find the try line.
Crowd giving Foley heaps, but he doesn't waver. He keeps the concentration going, and it's a 2-point ball game. It's 25-23. Brumbies still in front, just.
Gee, I tell you what, there's some poor misses though defensively from the Brumbies one-on-one there. Early up.
The Waratahs have scored 2 tries now. They've never scored 3 in Canberra in the professional era. Carraro. 5 minutes remaining. Can the Brumbies hold on? They're a man down. Foley.
Stop here, 20. Stop.
into touch, but the Brumbies will get the throw into the line out about 11 or 12 metres inside New South Wales territory.
Bernard Foley, you could see there, he wanted to cut off more territory, needed to get it to the halfway mark. Brumbies trying to slow the game down. Yucko Piper will call them into the line out.
As Rowan Smith looks on. That's all he can do. He won't be back. Stephen Moore, the warhorse, goes to the back and finds Fardy down to White to Moore.
Michael Hooper was right on that ball.
It's trapped.
Not coming out of there. So it's going to be a scrum, and the Brumbies will get the put in. 4 minutes remaining.
Well, it's important for both sides. The Brumbies will take on the Stormers next Saturday night here in Canberra. Then they'll go down to the Melbourne Rebels, and
I just saw the ball trap.
the Waratahs will host the Rebels next Friday night at the Sydney Football Stadium, which should see a good crowd turn out. And then they jump on the plane to go to South Africa for their 2 matches. Queensland Reds will be preparing to play the Sharks early tomorrow morning in Durban.
So Lockie McCaffrey coming off because they're down a prop. He's in the sin bin, so they're allowed to replace a player with a prop for safety reasons.
Shoulders up. Crouch. Bind. Sit.
White with the put in.
Oh, that wasn't in straight either for Nick White.
Let's do it again. Whoa, let's do it again.
He wants it again.
Let's do it again. I'm not sure.
And the Brumbies won't mind because it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
Let's go left side.
Yucko Piper penalised Nick Phibbs early in the game for incorrect feed. Watch where this goes. From Nick White, lucky to get away with it.
So,
Let's go, JP.
back.
But a scrum by the Brumbies.
Ball's out.
It pops out.
Lost forward.
And lost forward by Hooper.
What I can't understand, conniptions here. They bought Andrew Smith, the outside centre, probably never packed in a scrum in his
Ball's
life.
just out.
And they put him in at number 8.
Yeah, let's do it.
The ball was there to be picked up by number 8. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's just head down pushing. The ball comes out. Ben Mowen needs to be at number 8. Andrew Smith. If you're a back, go into breakaway, George. What's going on?
Put some weight on that cheek, don't you, and just push.
It's not hard.
And leave the skilled stuff at the back for a number 8, no.
Well, they've done it again,
They'll
haven't
do
they?
it again. I think they might clear it off the back here rather than keep it at the back of the scrum.
Gee, that's unfortunate, though, from Michael Hooper.
Crazy.
That would have got them back to the halfway line, the Waratahs.
Crouch.
Here we go again. Andrew Smith, number 8.
But the Brumbies won't mind because this scrum, this section, is taking plenty of time. It's a minute and a half away. The penalty goes to the Brumbies, and they might be able to put it beyond doubt now. Look at them. They are delighted.
Ready for number 1.
Ben Alexander, he was replaced, and he came back out, filling in for the man in the bin. And they're backslapping, and the Brumbies 25-23, and Nick White will take all of the time allowed to take this shot.
They've been really solid up front, the Brumbies, haven't they? Up against Ben Robertson, Tatafi Plotter now, and Paddy Ryan for most of the game. Sakopi Kepu came on at half-time, has made some difference to the Waratahs scrum, but Stephen Moore has been absolutely outstanding for the Brumbies tonight. He's carried the ball, he's defended enormously, moved up as a pack, and the way he's led this forward pack, especially at scrum time, has been superb.
So Nick White, he's on 15 points for this match at the moment. That's the most he's ever scored in a match. And gee, he's taking some time. White. The crowd like it. It's over. Penalty to the Brumbies. So 28-23, and there is still time.
The Waratahs get time. Bernard Foley got back to the mark very quickly.
taken by the Brumbies. They just need to clear it. And White drills it into the Gregan-Larkin stand, the GIO Stadium. And yet again, the Brumbies have burst the Waratahs bubble. Bragging rights in the first of their 2 grudge matches in 2014 go to the Brumbies. They've won it by 28 points to 23. What a match.